Good morning, guys. Kimberly Kayla is her name. She does makeup tutorials on YouTube. I wish I would have found her videos sooner. If you're into eyeshadow, makeup in general, she puts the instructions on the screen. And that's good for somebody like me. You want to get hurt? You watching my videos over there. I told him he's banned from watching the videos. Banned from watching my videos since I'm talking about this case for too long. But getting back to Kimberly. She, very talented young lady. Very talented. Hope you guys had a nice Sunday night. I knocked out early. I now know how to attach links, so you guys are not going to be going crazy looking for something. So I apologize, and trust me, that was a process, me trying to figure that out. I had to watch YouTube videos to learn how to do that. So that was a process, so I apologize. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I feel like going to get hair. There's a place, it's an online wig company. I had told you guys, somebody had asked me where do I get my wigs from, and I had told you guys Beauty of New York or wigtypes.com, or pretty much if there's a wig that I like, I just type in the search engine because they might not have it in stock, and I'll order from whoever has it at the best price. Buying the wigs in the beauty supply store, they overcharge. They really do. If the wig is, let's just say $25 online, at the beauty supply store it's going to be $49.99 or $39.99. It's going to be more. But the catch is, with the online wig ordering companies, they charge you so much in shipping. It's just ridiculous. The shipping cost is like $10, $12, so you have to spend a certain amount to get free shipping. So that's, yeah, I hate paying for shipping. I just do. But the place I go to is the warehouse for wig types in Beauty, New York. It's on Long Island. And they have a clearance rack. Are you getting the connection? Dollar Tree, Walmart, dollar clearance. I like to save. I don't like to pay full price for anything. But why don't I coupon? I just can never remember bringing those damn coupons to the store. Never. I'll get them, and then I'll be in the store and be like, damn, I have a coupon. I'm not going to the car. So the coupons don't work for me. Then they expire. That just doesn't work for me. So, people who order wigs and maybe they get the wig home and they don't like it, they ship it back. But the managers in the warehouse said they're not allowed to resell them at full price. So they have a clearance rack where you can go and you can go through the wigs. They still have the lace. If it's a lace front, the lace is intact. And I get them for like $7 or $8. So I feel like taking a ride over there today. They used to answer the phone all the time because it's like 20-25 minute drive. But now it's very hard to get them to answer the phone. Because I would say, is there a lot? If there's not, I'm really not going to take the drive. But sometimes I have went and it was scarce, but I found like maybe a human hair wig that costs $150. I get it for $50. So that's worth the drive, that in itself. Other than that, I didn't really get 100% of what I wanted done yesterday. I have to start working during the week. Because my days off, I want to be off. I live for my days off. And on your days off, you don't want to be cleaning. And I don't mind cooking. Sometimes on Sunday, I get in a cooking mood. I really don't cook that much during the week, but sometimes on Sundays you just want to cook and watch TV. That wasn't yesterday, but I did watch Power, and I did watch my Real Housewives of Potomac. What else came on? I went to the movies, and my chunka was up here for dinner. He's a handful. He's nothing like my boy, seriously. I used to get so many compliments about my boys when you go to the supermarket. They could not believe that they were toddlers because they knew time and place. I used to, when he was smaller, be able to take Chunk. I'm talking about my grandson. I used to be able to take him to the supermarket or Dollar Tree. Now, he performs. He is spoiled. And someone asked me, would I be taking him with me on vacation? That would not be a vacation. It's just me and hubby going. His birthday's in September. And I would like to do, we have talked about doing a family cruise. His kids, my kids, you know, and I would love for Chunk to be there. And our other granddaughter, I would love that, but it's difficult when it's not your daughter. If it was my daughter's child, I probably would have more of a say-so and an influence, but it's my son's child, and when she gets mad at him, she gets mad at me for whatever reason. I don't know. And I have nothing to do with their relationship. I try not to pry, try not to get involved. Great. Because they don't listen anyway. You can't tell them anything when they get to a certain age. They're going to have to learn the hard way. And I think that's one of the hardest things for me about, you know, being a mother. I didn't listen to my mother either. You know, you think you know everything. You think you got everything figured out, but you really don't. And I have friends with adult children like myself, and they are nothing like we were. Nothing like we were. And they don't want to leave home. I told my oldest the other day, he's going to be 24, and he's going to be 24 in October, and I told him, you're not even working full-time. You have to work full-time. And 25, you need to be venturing out into your own. And he doesn't bother me being home with me. But you need to be able to take care of yourself. And paying $100 for rent, that's not realistic. It's not realistic. In the real life, you can't work part-time. It just doesn't work that way. I don't know why my camera does that sometimes. Yeah, realistic, you can't work part-time. Not in New York. I don't know if any state you could work part-time. So he needs to get it together. You know, life is not one big party. Take the help while you have it. Maybe you should, you know, go back to school. Because these kids don't understand. Without an education, unless you get a construction job and you're lucky enough to land a civil service job, you're going to have it hard. And you're going to be stuck at a minimum wage job, and you're going to be miserable. And like I told you guys in another video, it was I think a junior video, when it comes to kids, you could do everything right for your child. You know, the home could be drug-free, you know, you could be hardworking, you could be, and the kids just go off and do their own thing. We pushed education. But the problem is, and I'm going to be honest with you, I know myself as a parent, I did not enforce. You know, I made a lot of threats. My lips are dry. I made a lot of threats. Oh, if you don't get a good report card, you're not getting up for Christmas. Or, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take that. And I didn't stick to it. I didn't hold them accountable. And unfortunately, I can't go back, but, you know, and they got away with a lot because I was always working. I worked a lot. Double shifts and stuff like that. Many nurses I know, they work a lot. Now that they're grown, I was working 2 jobs, but after I got married, I stopped. Also, I'm getting tired. And it doesn't really work in your benefit, especially if you don't have a business or own anything in New York, because the more you make, the more taxes you're entitled to pay. So it's really not in my best interest anymore, but I had a shopping problem, as you guys probably can see. Not a discount shopping problem, but my Dollar Tree problem was bad at one point. It was really bad. I think I was spending like $100 a week in Dollar Tree. Don't ask me. You know, but I was finding some really good stuff. Lately, I can't find nothing. So my justification was $100 in Dollar Tree, but I'm getting 100 things. You know, you go to Macy's, you spend $100, you might get, what, a couple of shirts, you know, maybe some perfume, you know. So that was my justification, but it was just crazy. Because I have nowhere to store all the stuff, and giving it away and stuff like that, you know, to co-workers or something. Oh, hey, I seen this for you. So I had to stop that. I still go to Dollar Tree, but I have more control now. I don't have to buy something just because I see it. But around Christmas time, they had all of the e.l.f. brushes. Like, this is an e.l.f. brush. I have other e.l.f. brushes. They had the e.l.f. lipsticks, really nice lipsticks. The gel liner that I use. I found some really good stuff in Dollar Tree, you know what I mean? So I would rack up, because you, like I said, once Dollar Tree, something's gone, it's gone. It's get it or forget it. Oh, goodness. I gotta go through this cart. So I can see where I went wrong. Not holding them accountable and not following up on what I said. That's definitely where I went wrong as a parent. Sorry, guys. This is unbelievable. Was looking for this. I told you guys that I didn't like this, and now I use this every day. I don't want to say the wrong name. I was corrected in the comments about how to use the eyebrow wax, because the kit comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5/10 of powder, and then this is the wax. And so you see how it looks muddled with powder is because they say you put the wax on first, then you put the powder. I was doing it the opposite. I was putting the, like I said, I'm just, you know, a lot of stuff. Oh, I'm not even going to show you guys old pictures of how my makeup looked. Because when I look at it, I'm like, you know, but I'm learning. I really am learning. So now I'm going to put the wax on first and then put the powder and see how that goes. Because this whole time I've been doing it opposite. Because my thinking was you put the powder on and the wax holds it in place. I don't know. Might not sound right, but that was my thinking. But I always tried to stress to my kids about being independent, not dependent. Because thankfully, I'm a very independent person. That's something that my mother, I remember before I left home, she told me. You want to make sure, even though she told me, and she was right, but I misinterpreted what she meant. She told me that you never want to be dependent on a man. You want to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, because you never know what can happen. You know, he could leave, you know, God forbid, pass away. So you don't want to be financially dependent on a man for money. And I hustled. And unfortunately, I missed what she said. I got what she said. But that doesn't mean you want to pay all the bills just so you know you can make it. No, that just means, you know, have a backup plan. You know what I mean? I feel bad for women who I encounter that are dependent and not independent. Because independent is the best feeling ever. That you know that regardless, you're going to be okay. And that's something that I'm trying to stress to one of my boys, because he's dependent, and I hate that. I really hate that. And that's not something that I've showed them, and frankly lazy. That's not something that they could ever see. I used to hustle and work. And they know that. My youngest son, he's a worker. Now, money management, that's a different story. But he's the one with the son, and pretty much he's a good, you know, I'm proud of him when it comes to a son. And he never was around kids, and you know, never wanted to be bothered with the little cousins or anything like that at a family function. So I would have thought my oldest is going to be a great dad whenever that time comes. He loves kids, and kids love him. I wanted him to become a teacher, or I thought he would become something working with children. Just got to put him in God's hands. But I try to stress to them, be independent. You know, you living home, working part-time, that's not being independent. God forbid something happened to me, or I might want to leave New York. You know what I mean? What are you going to do then? How are you going to survive? Spoiling kids. For those who have young kids or not yet parents, it may sound nice giving them everything that they want and all this other stuff, but it will come back to literally bite you in the ass. Because you're thinking that, you know, they're going to appreciate you more, or I don't know what we think. You know, the smile that's on their face when they get what they want makes us happy. I think that's what it is. The smile that's on their face makes us happy. And we want them to have it and stuff like that. And then some people give because out of fear, you know, because they don't want their kids to get it elsewhere. You know? But you know what? that means nothing. That famous actor, Michael Douglas, I had a girlfriend whose husband was in away at Club Fed, and his son, Michael Douglas' son, was in there. Now, they come from money, because Michael Douglas' father, I think he was an actor too. I mean, so why are you incarcerated for selling drugs? You know what I mean? Some people just, I don't know if you know, whatever. I don't know the whole circumstances, so I'm not going to speak much on it. But just because, like I told you guys about that, a nurse I know, I used to work with, both her sons got strung out on heroin. Her husband had a good job. She's a nurse making good money. So economic status has nothing to do with how a person's going to turn out. Once these kids get old enough, they make up their mind and they go their own way. So, I don't know. My son's had an attitude with me since I've had that conversation, but too bad. It's for his best interests. I remember I was married with, my kids were babies at the time, and I don't know if my then husband had lost his job, but we were suffering, hurting financially, okay? And I went to my father, and I had asked him for $25. $25. Not a lot of money. I mean, well, I'm going back many years. This was in the early 90s, but still. He told me no. After, my father, he would give you a hour-long lecture. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I'm just doing. And tell you no at the end of the hour-long lecture. It's like you could have just told me no right away. But they did give me food and canned goods like that. But I just thought he was so mean. Like, how could you be so cruel? I have 2 kids. But he told me. He said, you wanted to leave. You wanted to get married. It's your husband's job to take care of you. And that's what started my journey to independence. Because I wasn't going to be put in that position again. And I was angry with him a little bit at the time, but that's the best thing he could have did for me. The best thing. That was the best thing he could have did. And you have to know your kids. My oldest son, the more you give him, the more he'll take and not do. It may seem like favoritism on the outside. I can't treat my 2 kids the same. Oh, it's tearing. I can't. One will take the help. Well, the younger one is a manipulator like his father. I see some, you know, he'll give, you know, but like I said, he goes to work, but that's another story. But for my older one, I know the more I do for him, the more comfortable he gets. So I kind of got to be harder on him. And it's out of love. Growing up, I thought my mom favored my middle sister. And my grandmother was a pastor. And I remember one night, and I started to get resentful of it. This don't even, what the fuck? I don't even know. I started to get resentful about it. I'll make it work, y'all. I really started to get resentful about it. You know? And I was in Bible class one night, and my grandmother said, she spoke about favoritism with children because she had 8, and it was always said that she had her favorites, right? And I remember this night like it was yesterday. She said, it's not that you have favorites. Some kids need more love than others. And that released me that night of the resentment. Because it was my father putting it in my head, you know, because I was closer to him growing up. And he would say, yeah, your mother, you know, your mother. Because he still was dealing with things. Me and my mother crack up about it all the time. He was still dealing with things from his childhood. And he felt like his mother had a favorite. So he was putting it in my head. And it wasn't intentional. But he probably felt that way. He was really putting it in my head that my mother favored my middle sister. Because I didn't know. I was a child. I didn't know. I didn't feel that way. But if somebody's constantly telling you something, you're going to feel that way. So my grandmother said some kids just need more love than others. That released me that night from that resentment, because I started to harbor resentment. Like, why is she the favorite? You know what I mean? And to be honest, that was so true, because my middle sister, I say, she loves attention. I'm not that person. When I walk into the room, don't look at me. I don't want people looking at me and staring at me. But my sister, she has to be seen when I love her to death, but she has to be seen when she walks in a room. That's not Erica. You know? So, that is true. Some people need more than others. So somebody like I say all that to say my oldest son, he always thought that I favored the younger son. And that wasn't the case. My younger son was just easier to talk to. But I didn't know it at the time. When I say he's a manipulator, I would go to discipline him, or if I had to talk to him about something, he would be respectful, say okay, or just not answer at all. My older son, on the other hand, always had to answer back. So communicating with him was challenging because, you know, you'd want to hit him. That's the way he would take you. He would take you to that place where you'd want to hit him. Where the other one would let you talk what you say, or yes you to death so you stop talking, and still behind your back having his mind, I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know that, right? You know, you would think that he was listening to you, but he wasn't listening either. It's just that he was more respectful. And then the only thing that I see that, I don't know why my eyes watering, probably got something in it. The only thing I could see from my younger son, Chunka's father, he goes to work like me. So that's what we have in common. But it's not that I favor him more, because he has his issues too. But the older one, I just know I have to be really strict with him and straight to the point. Because if I baby him, I'm going to cripple him. So I had to have that conversation with him the other day that you got to work full time. Not for me, for you. Because I could take care of myself. You need to be able to take care of yourself. And with him, he was out of the house. He just came back home last, I want to say April. The end of last April, he just came back home. And he went out there in that world. He even left the state for a little while. But he was going couch to couch. Why do you want to sleep on somebody's couch? Or he'd get a job and then he'd lose the job. Can't keep a job. And it's never his fault. Never his fault. The manager was picking on him. Every manager at every damn job is picking on you. It's, you know. So I really have to, I had laxed up on him a little bit because he was working and doing better, but you're still doing the bare minimum. Working part-time, yes, you're working, but working 1 day a week, 2 days a week, that's not realistic. Not these days. It's not. I make a decent salary, and at times it's not enough. You know what I mean? So he's has an attitude with me, but he's got to get over it and get his stuff together. Because he's going to be 25. Well, he's going to be 24. But I told him, he doesn't even have a driver's license. He has a permit. But I think he's scared to drive. And I've seen him walking down the street and that's challenging sometimes. You know, because they have the headphones on. They're not paying attention. So if he's not comfortable, I don't want to push him. But, you know, most jobs, we're in Suffolk County, Long Island. So it's not like the city where you have public transportation readily available. Okay? So he is going to need to drive eventually, because that's going to limit your job selection. Right now, his job is within close to home, so he can get away with not driving. I don't know where I'm going with this. But raising kids is, these days, is not easy. It's not. It's really not easy. I don't envy this generation coming up now, too. It's a whole new world. Whole new world. And they know everything. My oldest son told me once, because I was telling him, you know, you're not going to be ready for the world. He said he's seen the world. He's been on 3 cruises. This is the one I said it's challenging to communicate with him. Yeah. He's been on 3 cruises. He's seen the world. That's not life. That is certainly not life. That's not living. That's not life. It's funny, these kids. Funny. I don't even know how my grandson's going to be, because he's already so different. He doesn't listen. It's very hard for me to... I would like to take him to the Bronx Zoo, though. But not now. It's too hot. I want to go in the fall, because it's a lot of walking. I haven't been to the Bronx Zoo since I was a little girl. Probably summer camp trip. So I would like to take him there. I would like to go to the Museum of Natural History. I haven't been there also since I was a little girl. He needs to get out and do things. He has a lot of energy. And he likes other children. But his parents, they're lazy. They're lazy. They took him trick-or-treating one year. I think his first year trick-or-treating. But I think, no, the first year he went trick-or-treating, he slept the whole time. But then they took him the next year, and they took them to the mall. I don't know where you guys live, but usually people take the small kids to the mall, and they go around to the stores, and they get candy. He took them, yeah, they took him, and I swear they were back in a half hour. And my son could never say that. Everywhere they went. Chuck E. Cheese, Fun Zone was open at the time, Adventureland. They went everywhere. Movies. God, I took them to the movies. Me and hubby took them to the movies the week I had some days off for my birthday, and that was an experience. But he never been. So I guess if you think of him being almost 3 and never going to the movies, it wasn't that bad. But I couldn't wait to get out of there. I bought him some popcorn. He dumps the whole entire thing on himself, and he's eating it from there. At that point, I didn't care. Hubby had to take him out. I had to take him out. It just was an experience. Then come back in. That was an experience. Can't even say I want to go to a Dollar Tree today, because I'm telling you, literally, there has been nothing in Dollar Tree. Nothing. By me, at least. I mean, I find little odds and ends. Nothing to get excited about. But that nasal inhaler that did I show you guys? I did, I think, 2 days ago. It really, really works. I wake up congested every morning. And it's not addicting, where you constantly got to use it. And ironically, the older son that I'm talking to you guys about, he works at Dollar Tree. And I get no home field advantage. He doesn't even know what they have. I ask him anything new, he can't even really answer me. You know what store I like? I don't know where you guys are, but I like IKEA. But that place is a damn maze. It's a damn maze in there. And I don't like those kind of stores. When I want to leave, I want to leave. I don't want to have to walk around the maze. I'll go back to that eye. I don't have the patience. I had the best breakfast ever. I know I told you guys I'm going to start my fasting today, because I have that doctor's appointment. She is brutal. I have avoided this woman because she is brutal. You know, and she's right. She wants you to be healthy. You don't have a lot of doctors that care anymore. I'm sorry. And I work in healthcare, and I could say that. You know, medicine has become about the dollar and not the patient. I can tell you that. Hospitals, nursing homes, you know, it's all about the profit for them. You know, everybody's for profit, which I understand it costs to pay the employees. It costs to run the facility. But cutting back on nurses' aides and nurses and stuff like that, there's other ways you can cost money. That's what kills me. They spend money, and you're like, they spent how much money for that? You know, they'll spend money and the stupidest things. And then what you need to take care of the people that are in the facility, that's where they'll cut. They'll cut hours of staff. It's all messed up, so don't even get me started talking about the healthcare system. And like I told you guys in another video, the money's not in the cure, the money's in the disease. These pharmaceutical companies, first of all, they give kickbacks to doctors, and they give kickbacks to, you know, they want you to use their products, their medicine. I remember there was this company, they were very aggressive. They kept coming. They wanted to meet with me because they have this new drug that will help. Because sometimes with dementia, I work with dementia. For whatever reason, you know, this person may just start crying. You know, this drug was supposed to help, you know, help with those residents that got that, those symptoms. I have one that she'll just be crying, and you don't know. You know she's not hungry. You know she's not in pain, but she'll just cry. So this drug, I forgot the name of it. But they finally got someone to use it in my facility, and guess what? she still cried. So I don't believe in a lot of this medication, to be honest with you. I'm not saying medication doesn't help at all and to stop taking your medication, but some of these drugs have so many other side effects, especially psych drugs. Some of them cause weight gain, some of them suppress the appetite, and that's the worst you want with somebody in dementia, because there are going to be appetite issues when the dementia progresses anyway. So to give them a medication, yeah, it might help them with their behaviors, but in the flip side of it, also it affects their appetite. So I don't know. It's all messed up, y'all. I don't know why this eye keeps watering. I got something in it, probably one of those powders. I hate that. Yeah. So she really is a good doctor, but I know she's going to talk about my weight, and also I didn't get my mammogram. I'm supposed to get a mammogram at 40, and I'm 42. I didn't do it because I heard it hurts. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you've had one. But got to get on top of the health. And not just for vacation. Not just for vacation. I got to work on that. I'm going to pause, guys. I have nothing to do today. So, I don't know what I'm doing. Getting all glammed up. The Trayvon Martin, documentaries come on tonight on the Paramount Network. I have been waiting for this documentary for a year since I heard about it. If not a year, it was a long time. On the Paramount Network, hubby says 10 p.m. It's a 6-part docuseries. So I don't know if it's going to be every Monday. I don't know. My eyes tearing. I'm so frustrated. Love this. Okay. Since it's Monday, I'll try something different that I'm most likely going to regret. This is Glitter Fix. It's a glitter glue primer. Gotta live. Only live once. I don't know, guys. I know one thing, when I put the glitter on my eyes, it's a pain in the ass removing it. So why the hell would I put it on my lips? Because I'm crazy. It's so messy. Let me pause. This hair is a green wig that I bought. I only wore it, I think, one time, maybe twice. And I really, it's like a yucky texture. I got it on clearance at a beauty supply store. But it's just, I only wore it twice. I mean, I'm going to be curling this one. If you watch my video about the roller setting, I'm going to be curling this one. See, I could do stuff like this when I'm home. I'm looking in the camera, not the mirror. I can't go to work like this, you know? So I could play when I'm home. I don't feel like looking for one of my wig brushes. But this is going to be curled. So I'm going to set this one. It's also kind of long. I'm not sure if I was going to cut it. I always wanted to cut this one to make it shorter. Not working. Hold on. Okay, I had it on the wrong way. Like I said, I wore this wig one time. So I couldn't remember. But I'm still going to be curling it. Definitely will be curling this wig. It's just, it tangles. No wonder why it was on clearance, to be honest with you. I'm not surprised this wig was on clearance because it's from Vella Vella. I know that. I didn't save the tag. It's a Vella Vella wig, and they had it in this magenta color, but I just got the green because I wanted green. But in my opinion, it's very poorly made. All the hair is, you know, just cheap. But it's going to look hot when I curl it. So I will be doing that today. That's what I'll do today. Thank you for watching, guys. And Kimberly Kayla, her makeup is the truth. You have to check her out.